Cupra Formentor VZ2 1.5 TSI 150, 2021 UK review. But before we start, please support us by pressing the like and subscribe buttons, so that we can continue to provide information about car and motorcycle news. Also turn on the bell button to get the latest updates. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you. What is it? It obviously pays to invest. The Cupra Formentor is Cupra's first, and thus far only, standalone model and currently accounts for 50% of UK sales. The bean counters at the Volkswagen Group should take note. We're testing it here in second-rung V2 1.5 TSI spec and, yes, the beady-eyed among you will have spotted that the images aren't of the V2. Sadly, we couldn't get our test car photographed, but to me the V2 loses little of the VZ2's visual appeal. The Formentor is a decent-looking thing, to the point where non-car friends were interested to know what it was when it was parked up outside my house. They've never shown similar curiosity in a BMW X2. Equally, you'd never know from inside that you're not sitting in one of the top-of-the-range models. One upshot of the large, 12 inches touchscreen that dominates the cabin is that you're not left with many blank switches in lower trim levels, simply because there aren't many in the first place. In fact, all Formentors get the same sized, twin-screen setup, 12 inches for the infotainment, 10 inches for the digital dials. The V2 also gets figure-hugging, electric seats in Nappa leather, the latter normally the preserve of high-spec exec cars, heated steering wheel, electric tailgate and parking sensors all round. Additionally, it still has the separate climate control switches in the back, plus a couple of USB-C ports back there so the kids won't feel shortchanged either. Head and leg room are decent in the rear. The ubiquitous Volkswagen 1.5-liter petrol is available with both DSG and manual gearbox options, but we've tested it here with the dual-clutch setup. With 148 bhp and 184 pounds-foot, it'll hit 62 miles per hour in 8.9 seconds, but because there's no mild hybrid technology, the emissions of 155 grams/km aren't sector-defining. They're similar to a car like the X2 and a couple of tax brackets behind the Peugeot 2008. What's it like? The Formentor is definitely at the more engaging end of compact SUVs, but the trade-off is that the ride is also at the firmer end of the spectrum. Not that this should come as a massive surprise, even just a cursory glance at the 19 inches wheels, standard on the V2, should give a clue that you're not about to jump into a magic carpet. It's also partly down to the spec. Previous versions we've tested all featured adaptive dampers, but the V2 1.5 TSI doesn't get these. It does, though, still keep various driving modes, so you can alter other aspects of the car's character like engine response and steering weight. None of these fundamentally tweak the car's character, but that's not a huge miss when the basics are largely spot on. The engine spins away happily and is, most of the time, unobtrusive. It's only when you really rev it that the sound becomes coarse. But you get very little performance gain by carpeting the accelerator, so our suggestion is to leave it in the lower rev range. The throttle response and comfort isn't the sharpest, as we also found in the most powerful 306 bhp version, but sport mode tweaks it to become more aggressive. As with most VW Group products, the steering is accurate enough, if lacking in ultimate levels of feel. But body roll is well controlled and you can have a reasonably rewarding drive across your favorite back road. It's no sports car, but there's a depth of driving involvement that's lacking from a lot of this class, Mazda CX-30 accepted. Should I buy one? Arguably, this is the sweet spot of the Formentor range. The VZ1 and VZ2 trims don't add a huge amount of extra kit, other than a safety and driving pack for the latter, so the V2 makes the most financial sense. That is if you can make do without the most powerful engines and adaptive dampers, as the top spec, Golf R Source 306 bhp lump is only available on VZ versions. The manual V2 1.5 TSI is 1,535 pounds cheaper still than the DSG, but for ease of use, the dual clutch is where we'd put our money.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.